Seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the Washington Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right, you're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Hard throw, incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Got a man. It's De'Ami Brown, complete. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll go play action. Howell. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, then what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Howell down to throw it. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
This was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for a possibility of a pass. But that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. And they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So here we go, 4th down, Hell. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. 2nd and 3. And Cook has it left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
In motion comes the tight end left. 2nd and 11. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. He'll get it inside the 20, and they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play there on the catch and run. 36 yards.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3-yard line, gotta love the effort, and especially the big play that gave his offense a great opportunity.
So 1st and goal, and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
A loss of 3 brings up 2nd and goal. At the Commanders' 6-yard line.
Quick throw complete. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson from 6 yards away. And the Vikings will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Second down and a run by Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
And they go play action with Howell. And this is caught at the 20. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Faking the handoff, Howell. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Howell. This is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Kyle Pitts from 10 yards out. And the Commanders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Santos with the extra point, and we are tied at 7.
Ties the game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on, because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off play action. It's Howell. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Robinson on a give right side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Commanders have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
Starting to get the sense throughout the league that more of the special teams coordinators give their guys the green light to bring the ball out because everyone wants big plays to happen.
I don't know if that philosophy will hold after that error there. Turn it over that deep in their own territory.
Do guys go rogue there a lot based on feeling?
I think a lot of them just sense that they can make a play.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Commanders 21, Vikings 7.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Take over first down 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 52 yards rushing for him in this first half as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Again, it's Robinson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second down, Howell back to pass. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Washington on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They dial up the quarterbacks that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Fielded at the 20. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Hal to throw on 2nd down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Santos with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14.
Makes the score. Commanders 28, Vikings 14.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big play that time on the the catch and run. 35 yards.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. They're going to look to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their...
And that's caught inside the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Santos on for the field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Fields the squib kick right around the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Taken at the 15, a short kick.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down and 4, Powell. That is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And Howe will throw it. Quick slant to Brown. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he's got Rome. Touchdown, Washington.
Robinson, the ball carrier. Touchdown, Washington.
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Second and 6. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it.
Oh, Hal loses it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face second and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this is taken in at the 5. A huge play there for Washington. 47 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Robinson will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Powell, third and goal. Flush to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Asamoah working his way in to pick up the sack. And nowhere to hide on that play.
No, there was not, because every exit door, that was surrounded. And I think that was supposed to be a bootleg, but he had no chance to get outside the pocket and try and make a play.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Powell slings this deep from McLaurin, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long, here's Howell. There goes a deep ball, end zone. He's got it, touchdown Commanders. Curtis Samuel, 46 yards. And the Commanders continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
The score, Commanders 48, Vikings 14.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
DJ Reader there on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Minnesota. 55 yards.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. First and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their own 24. They'll go play action. Howell. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing on second and long. Powell, a quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. First down, how to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Zadarius Smith just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Powell. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And they get this all the way to midfield, working down at the 49. Cook up the gut. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this one is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Flushed out right. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
He is out of bounds inside the 35. His fifth catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Another throw for Howell. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Kyle Pitts, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Commanders continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Santos with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Vikings 14.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They run again on first down. Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. He'll look to throw. Firing throwing quickly, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. It's complete to Cook. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 37. A good pickup there at 22. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's Washington that scoops it up. Past the 20. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every area.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
A loss of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Looking to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlight.